Hello and welcome back to Crazy Kernel YouTube. In this video, I'll be talking about indexing in Python, and I'll also be discussing for like different kinds of loops, like for loops, and also negative indexing. So let's get started now. And basically, I've got myself a tuple here. This is just a variable name, but the data type itself is also a tuple. So basically, I've got my items. So red, blue, green, orange, yellow. This can be anything. I just put random colors, but anyway, if I just say print and then my variable name, it'll just like basically loop through um, the entire tuple or whatever dataset you have. But instead, if I just want one certain, like, say I just want one certain item, like say I would just want red or just want green or just want blue, just yellow, orange. Say I just want one item, right? So right here, as you can see in my print statement, I'm gonna put right here, as you can see here, I'm gonna put square brackets right after the tuple, and I mean right after my variable name, and just before my parentheses. So this might be a bit confusing, so let me make it easier and change this tuple to an x. So basically print x, and um, in this square brackets I can put my index number. So I'm gonna put 0. And I know I haven't explained this yet, but I would like it if you could pause and for a better understanding just try to guess, make an educated guess on what this would do. And then come back and eventually I'm gonna run it now. And let's see if your prediction was right. Well, it printed red. So if you guessed red, great job. So why this printed red, I'm gonna explain it now. Basically, indexing works like this. The first item is 0. The second item is 1. Third item is 2. And so on. So basically red would be 0, blue would be 1, green would be 2, orange would be 3, yellow would be 4. So even though there are 5 items, the max index would be 4. So if I wanted to print orange, I would actually, instead of 4, I'd do 3. Even though it's the fourth item, remember that we start from 0. So let me do this, and hopefully I'm right. It prints orange. Yep. So great, it works. So this, what I'm about to teach you is might be a bit complex compared to just regular indexing. So if it is helpful, maybe I think that I would recommend that you should just first practice this regular indexing and then move on to what I'm gonna teach, which is negative indexing. But anyway, let's get started for negative indexing. Basically, I'm gonna print -1 instead of my 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever index I had. I'm just gonna put -1. And again, I would think that for best teaching purposes, I would say pause this video and guess what this is gonna be. And let's see if your prediction was right now. It prints yellow, so if you guessed that, great job. And now I'm gonna explain it. So it's fine to get this wrong, but anyway, this should clear it up for you. Basically, what negative indexing is like, yellow would be -1 because it's the last item. So basically, negative indexing, remember, negative is opposite to positive. So instead of going from left to right, it's going from right to left. So the easy way to remember is going from the last item, which is going to be -1, then the second to last item, -2, then the third to last item, -3, and so on. So blue would be -4, red would be -5. So basically, I can say for red, I can just say print 0, like the index number 0 itself. It print red. Or I can say -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or -5. And if I run this, it does still print red. So basically, that's what negative indexing is. And before I end this video, I want to show something called looping through a list, a tuple, or basically anything. To loop, you first use the for loop, which is just put 4, and then the next line you're gonna put a new variable, not x right now, but you're just gonna put a different variable. So I'm gonna say y, and then next you put the in keyword, and then you put finally the variable that you want to loop through, which is in this case I'm gonna loop through x. Then put your colon, next line indent. I think it's like 4 indents as usual, and here now we just say print y, and this is very crucial here. You might be confused with the variable. So basically, y is our new variable. Y is basically like our loop, and we're gonna loop through the x variable, which is my tuple. And this might seem confusing, but trust me, after practice you'll get it, and you can do it practically with your eyes closed. But anyway, in your print statement, you will be using your new variable, which is the loop. So basically, loop through x, print the loop is a great way to remember it. And print y. And if I run this, I would say pause this video and actually think what this will do. And when you're back, let's see. I'm gonna run it. Well, if you guessed that it would loop like this, you were right. So basically, what this does is red, blue, green, orange, yellow. It basically counts all the items in this certain data type, which is can be a tuple, a list, even a string, and it basically prints all the items from up to down in the order. I honestly don't know how to do it backwards. Like it'll print yellow, orange, green, blue, red. I'm not really sure on that. But anyway, this is the basics. And also, you might be wondering, since this is a tuple has multiple items, um, you might be thinking like can I do it for a string? And actually, yes, you can. So I'm gonna show you that right now. I'm gonna say x equal to. I'm just gonna say this can be anything. I'm just gonna say eating apples. Basically, let's loop this and let's see what happens. Eating apples. Basically, it goes through letters this time since there's no like certain one item, two item. And one more thing I wanted to mention is when you have your tuple or list or anything, make sure that you only put commas after your item when you have another item following it. So as you can see, yellow, since it's the last item, I don't have a comma after it, because if I do, it can actually throw you an error. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, I guess it doesn't. So anyway, please discard that then. And I guess that's it for this video. So be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell for notifications on upcoming videos. And one more thing that I'd like you to do is I'd really appreciate it if you could go into the discussion section of my channel and just add a public comment like what you liked about my channel, what do you think I should do, any suggestions, comments, like any questions, anything you want to really let me know. And I'd really appreciate it if you could just add a public comment, and I'd really look into that. Well, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Crazy Colonel YouTube.